Tonight, an unsolved cold case. A 20-year-old woman kidnapped, raped, and killed in 1980 in New York. Now closed. Police identifying Eve Wilkowitz's killer about 42 years to the date of her murder.
I still can't believe that I heard those words. We've identified the person responsible for the death of Eve.
Wilkowitz never made it back from work on March 22, 1980. Police say she was strangled by a long unidentified man. Her body found 3 days later near her apartment on Long Island. Eve's only sister, Irene Wilkowitz, urging investigators to continue searching decades later.
She was a real person. She never got a chance to fulfill her dreams.
Initially, police ran a rape kit analysis, but found nothing.
Due to the technology at the time, no donor profile, no DNA profile was able to be obtained.
But times have changed. New genetic genealogy allowing police to put DNA samples into consumer databases instead of just criminal sites for a much wider pool.
Are criminal databases effective and comprehensive?
Law enforcement databases work very well if someone has committed a violent crime and their DNA is in the system. When they don't work well is when someone has stayed under the radar.
CeCe Moore is a prominent genetic genealogist.
My team alone has helped solve over 200 law enforcement cases.
In 2018, the serial rapist and murderer, the Golden State Killer, was found using genetic genealogy testing.
We are able to perform investigative genetic genealogy in all 50 states. There are some that are concerned that there could be overreach by law enforcement using this very powerful tool.
Moore says not all genomics company data from places like 23andMe and Ancestry is available to law enforcement, and states have different restrictions. In New York, where Eve was murdered, a special permit is required to do this type of testing. So the lieutenant overseeing the investigation, Kevin Bayrer, asked the FBI to use the technique. Officials say it led them to a family member of the perpetrator who agreed to DNA testing and ultimately led to the man they believed to be the murderer, Herbert Rice. Police say Rice had a number of arrests for nonviolent offenses. He died of cancer in 1991. Authorities exhuming his body mid-March to run the DNA testing. As for the family of Eve, her parents died before the discovery. And Irene now knows who killed her sister, but is left wrestling with why.
I've lived these past 42 years afraid all the time that I was going to be killed next. But somehow I'm still here. And maybe it's just to help other people in similar situations.
Such a sad story. Zinkley Asamoah joins us now right here in 30 Rock. Zinkley, obviously this is a huge for Eve's family, but I imagine the murderer's family is shocked as well. I mean, they came forward and they submitted that DNA.
That's right, Tom. So largely the family of the man police believed to be the murderer, Herbert Rice, has declined to comment, though our colleague reporter John Shupe highlighted in his reporting that the murderer's son is considering speaking with Irene, Eve's sister, but hasn't yet decided. And Tom, Eve's sister actually thanked that family for giving their DNA to this investigation, even saying that she was sorry that they too have to learn that their family member did this. So really an emotional day for everybody, Tom.
Yeah, incredibly complicated if those families do eventually get together. I do want to ask you, though, this is a thing with law enforcement that they're asking for people to contribute their own DNA so they can sort of store it and have it for crimes like this?
Yeah, it's really interesting, Tom. So CeCe Moore, the expert I spoke with, says that actually most companies that collect DNA samples have restrictions toward law enforcement. So that's companies like 23andMe. But she cited that GEDmatch and Family Tree, those are two companies, do allow law enforcement to use that data. And she says if people are interested in supporting these kind of efforts to solve cold cases and crimes, they should keep those distinctions in mind, Tom.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.